Hi, my name is Renee Houlihan, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about leasing versus a purchase. I do a lot of both here at Bellroad Toyota, and sometimes my customers are really confused as to leasing. They're very hesitant because they feel like they're going to throw their money away, and at the end of the lease, all that money that they paid towards their vehicle is just going to go out the door. So I just want to talk about a few pros and cons to either one, and it might be a good choice for you to lease, but then again, maybe a purchase is a better deal for you. So when you're leasing a vehicle, what happens is what you're doing is basically you're paying for the depreciation of the vehicle on a monthly basis. And you don't pay for all the taxes. You only pay for that month's tax. So say for instance, if your payment is $300 on a lease, say you're leasing a RAV4 and your payment is $300, that $300 you're going to pay taxes on just that amount right there. So maybe the lease payment is $300, but really the actual payment that you're making is, as far as equity, is maybe $370, and the balance of that would be the tax. So say you have a 36-month lease, and you're making your payments every month, and at the end of the lease there is a residual or a balloon payment, and that residual is the amount that you're going to owe at the end of the lease. Now, that amount that you owe, you have some options. A lot of times my customers, because their credit is compromised, they opt to lease a vehicle because they know that in 3 years it won't be any problem to refinance the vehicle and get a better rate. And they're going to be they're building their credit as they're leasing, so they're going to be able to benefit from better credit when they do make a purchase, because a purchase typically is a lot longer, unless you of course want a higher payment, and a lot of people opt for the lower payment. So if you are leasing a vehicle, each one of your payments is definitely going towards making the whole of the vehicle down. They're going towards paying off that vehicle. We call it a lease purchase because you're leasing, but you have the ability to purchase that vehicle. Again, if you're making your payments every month on time, the credit bureaus are going to recognize that, and your credit's going to go up. A lot of times to lease a vehicle, you're going to have better payments or lesser payments than you would if you purchased a vehicle. So especially like say if you want a Tundra or a Tacoma or a very high dollar vehicle, something that's very expensive, even a 4Runner, they are pretty pricey. So a lot of times you can get $100 off of your monthly payment just because you're leasing the vehicle. And what happens is a lot of my customers opt to, they'll lease the vehicle for a few years and then they just go ahead and buy it out. Now, when you're leasing, one of the concerns that people have is that it's going to knock them from over mileage. Yes, if you do turn the vehicle in and you do not purchase it and you do not trade it in, it's going to go through an inspection process, and anything that's over the mileage that you have agreed upon at the time of your lease, you are going to be responsible for, and it's typically 15 cents a mile. So what you do, if that's something that is a concern to you, and you are going to be making a lot of miles, say you're an Uber driver and you're going to be driving all over the place, and yes, I have leased vehicles to Uber drivers, but say you are an Uber driver and you're going to be driving all over the place and you're wondering, what should I do? Should I lease? I know I can't afford high payments, but I don't want to be dinged at the end of the lease. Well, if you plan on buying the vehicle at the end of the lease and you're raising your credit, yes, why not lease? Or if you plan on trading that vehicle in for another vehicle, yes, you can lease. Another pro to leasing is if you own a business. One of the things that is really beneficial for business owners is tax write-offs. And when you make a payment towards a depreciating item such as a lease, and that's what those payments are, the depreciation over a month, is that you can write it all off. So that's another benefit to leasing. So if you have any questions about leasing, I would be happy to help you with that. My number directly is 602-384-6437. Please give me a call. Or if you are curious as to what your lease payment would be on, say, maybe a Tacoma. You went and looked at purchasing a Tacoma and it's way out of your range, but you really, really want that off-road, four-wheel drive Tacoma, and you want to know a way to do it. Give me a call. The leasing is the best way to go if you want the payment low. And if you plan on keeping that vehicle for a long time, we can lease it and then you can go ahead and buy it out in 2 to 3 years. There's also 60-month leases as well, and that at that point I would buy it out at 3 years, and you're definitely going to have equity in the vehicle as long as your miles aren't crazy and you've kept it pretty, decent. You'll definitely have equity in the vehicle. So anyway, that's about it, and thank you so much for watching, and you just have a super good day. This is Renee Houlihan over here at Bell Road Toyota in Phoenix, Arizona, signing out. Thanks. Bye-bye.